Have you ever fallen into that draining, self-sabotaging loop of mental internal friction that nearly everyone struggles with in modern life? We live in a fast-paced digital world flooded with endless information, instant short video entertainment, and one-tap mobile services. Without noticing, most of us slip into an invisible mental trap. Every night, even after wrapping up work, study, and all trivial chores, your whole body feels utterly drained. Hours of staring at phones, computers, and tablets leave your eyes sore, dry, burning, and heavy. Your head stays foggy and sluggish. Every muscle stiffens and aches, screaming for you to shut everything down and sleep logically. You fully grasp that mindless late-night scrolling, endless short videos, meaningless social media refreshes, and empty online fun bring zero growth, no skill upgrades, and no lasting joy. These repetitive hollow acts only devour your irreplaceable youth, drain physical stamina day by day, exhaust your mental energy, emotional drive, and positive mindset. The next morning you wake up sluggish, scattered, and unproductive, locked in a vicious circle of exhaustion, regret, and low efficiency, yet clear reasoning cannot control your hands. Your rational mind resists this pointless nightly indulgence, but your fingers slide across screens on autopilot. You sink into fleeting digital pleasure over and over, unable to stop no matter how hard you push yourself to quit. You only set the phone down when your eyes can barely stay open. Sleep never brings relief afterward. As soon as you close your eyes, overwhelming emptiness, vague, sharp anxiety, restlessness, and bone-deep self-blame swallow you whole, lingering deep into midnight. Alone in the dark room, you make firm vows countless times. Tomorrow, you'll kick these addictive habits, fix your messy schedule, keep early hours, build discipline, and lead a meaningful life. You swear to abandon time-wasting indulgence and rebuild your self-control, but every promise shatters the very next night. When darkness falls and loneliness creeps in, the same self-destructive cycle repeats. You fall back into old routines, break your own vows, and hate yourself even more. As this loop drags on night after night, severe self-denial takes hold. You doubt your ability, belittle your self-worth, and convince yourself you lack willpower and perseverance. You label yourself lazy, incompetent, and undisciplined, certain you can never master self-management. You watch peers stay consistent, motivated and fulfilled with calm minds, while you remain trapped between bad habits, guilt, and regret. Long-term mental friction chips away your passion, confidence, hope, and enthusiasm for life, leaving you confused, numb, and decadent. Today, we reveal a transformative truth that rewrites how you view addiction, self-sabotage, and self-discipline. Repeated failure to beat addictive behavior never stems from weak willpower, laziness, or poor self-control. The root cause is hidden chronic loneliness and spiritual emptiness that rewired your brain's entire dopamine secretion system. Your loss of control, nightly escapism, and constant relapses are not personal flaws or moral failures. They are passive, instinctive self-rescue mechanisms activated by your brain under extreme loneliness, emotional suppression, and spiritual deprivation. Most people misunderstand addiction their whole lives. Viral self-discipline content, motivational quotes, and addiction recovery tutorials spread a misleading universal belief. Addiction is just a product of bad choices and weak self-management. The public firmly believes pure willpower, determination, and strict self-restraint can eliminate all addictive urges once and for all. Guided by this harmful misconception, we fight against our biological instincts, brain chemistry, and emotional needs in the most exhausting, ineffective way possible, cycling through failure and self-doubt endlessly. We rely on fleeting passion to repress natural cravings, punish ourselves harshly to suppress instincts, and force total avoidance of temptations, cutting short videos, late-night browsing, and small pleasures entirely. Without exception, this method collapses completely, proven by the well-documented white bear psychological effect. If I strictly forbid you from imagining a white bear, that vivid image instantly pops into your head and refuses to fade. The human brain carries an automatic reverse monitoring system. The harder you force yourself to avoid a thought or behavior, the more your subconscious fixates on it, amplifying inner cravings dramatically. Anyone quitting addiction through sheer suppression faces brutal psychological rebound. Brief forced restraint always leads to longer, wilder, more frequent binges and relapses. Millions struggle for years, collapsing repeatedly in endless internal friction, never uncovering the true source of their struggle. Survey triggers like phones, short videos, and all-night scrolling are neutral tools, not the core issue. The invisible culprit buried deep inside is unhealed long-term loneliness, silent emotional void, and severe spiritual deprivation you refuse to face or accept. Many people seem fully integrated into daily society, working, studying, socializing, surrounded by family and friends, appearing lively and outgoing. Beneath the surface, they linger in quiet, persistent loneliness, paired with emotional repression, unmet emotional resonance, and a sense of constant misunderstanding. This hidden loneliness does not trigger public breakdowns or loud crying, yet it slowly drains your mental stamina, collapses your inner emotional order, and hollows out your spirit. It keeps your brain stuck in a state of restlessness and deprivation, forcing you to chase instant external gratification to fill the void inside. A massive universal cognitive fallacy traps countless people. Society teaches us dopamine equals the happiness hormone that delivers joy and excitement. People assume we chase entertainment solely to boost dopamine for lasting joy. This false belief explains why every fleeting pleasure leaves you emptier and drives stronger addictive urges after every failed quit attempt. Let us correct this critical misunderstanding once and for all. Dopamine is not a happiness hormone. It is a desire, anticipation, and motivation hormone. Its sole function is pushing you to chase new stimulation and future rewards rather than letting you savor present peace and satisfaction. Stanford Neuroscience Lab's classic monkey experiment scientifically proved this subversive truth. Scientists set a reward rule. When a light flashed, monkeys pressing a button received sweet fruit juice, while researchers tracked real-time brain dopamine levels. The results overturned all traditional assumptions. When the light lit up and monkeys anticipated juice rewards, their dopamine spiked sharply. They grew restless, eager, and overexcited. The moment they tasted the juice and felt genuine contentment, dopamine plummeted instantly. Real lasting peace, joy, and satisfaction come from endorphins and serotonin, not dopamine. Dopamine only fuels pursuit and expectation, never present fulfillment. This experiment perfectly explains your addictive late-night scrolling. You lie awake sliding screens non-stop not because current content entertains you, but because dopamine fuels endless anticipation. The next clip might surprise you. The next refresh brings new excitement. This unknown expectation hooks you for hours on end. When exhaustion forces you to shut down your phone, all expectation vanishes, dopamine fades, and crushing emptiness, loneliness, and regret rush in. That is why every cheap, short-lived pleasure follows prolonged mental internal friction. Chronic loneliness and spiritual deprivation disrupt your brain's reward system long-term, rewiring how you respond to satisfaction. A question confuses many. Why do lonely, single people lacking deep emotional bonds far more easily fall into late-night scrolling, emotional overeating, impulsive shopping, and empty digital indulgence? Conversely, those with rich inner lives, solid social connections, and clear life goals rarely sink into addictive escapism or crippling self-friction. The iconic 1960s rat park experiment by Canadian psychologist Bruce Alexander upended the entire field of addiction research. Early traditional tests isolated rats in bare, cold, tiny cages with no toys, companions or activity space, only 2 water sources, clean plain water and drug-laced addictive water. Every isolated lonely rat fixated on the drugged water, abandoned regular drinking, spiraled into addiction and died of overdose. The scientific community prematurely concluded addictive substances themselves create dependency. Alexander challenged this one-sided conclusion, arguing isolation and deprivation drove addiction, not the drug water itself. He built a vast, comfortable rat park with spacious grounds, soft bedding, abundant food, various toys, and countless rat companions to enable free socializing, play, and mating without loneliness. He placed identical plain and drugged water inside the park under equal conditions. The outcome shocked academia. Rats living fulfilled, connected lives barely touched the addictive water. Occasional curious sips never spiraled into compulsive abuse. With rich social interaction and inner stability, they had no need to chase fleeting toxic pleasure to fill emptiness. This landmark experiment reveals humanity's core truth about addiction. Addiction is not a trap set by external media or substances. It is a temporary shelter for lonely souls. Addiction is not merely loss of self-control, but the inevitable outcome of emotional deprivation and barren inner lives. Translating this conclusion to human reality clarifies all confusion. Late-night scrolling, short video addiction, emotional binge eating, and mindless entertainment escapism mirror rats, drinking drugged water. When trapped in long-term loneliness, emotional suppression, repetitive monotonous routines, and unclear life goals, your brain's baseline dopamine stays persistently low and imbalanced. Calm, nourishing low-stakes joys like quiet reading, nature walks, meditation, focused study, and creative work can no longer activate your dopamine or deliver stable satisfaction. Loneliness and emptiness infinitely raise your brain's pleasure threshold. Simple everyday happiness fails to fill your spiritual void. At this point, high-intensity, instant, low-cost gratification like short videos, live streams, and midnight scrolling become your brain's only accessible quick dopamine source during fatigue and loneliness. Whenever you feel hollow, stressed, or lost, your mind instinctively craves these distractions to numb pain. Worse still, the human body operates a cruel dopamine seesaw balance mechanism, constantly seeking emotional equilibrium and rejecting extreme highs or lows. When you force dopamine surges through cheap, instant pleasure, your body triggers a compensatory suppression response, leaving deeper emptiness, loneliness, and self-blame once the thrill fades. The more intense your temporary gratification, the heavier the post-pleasure despair. To escape this agony, your brain drives you to seek new distractions repeatedly, forming an unbreakable closed vicious cycle. Loneliness fuels indulgence. Indulgence unbalances dopamine. Skewed dopamine amplifies anxiety and emptiness. Greater emptiness demands more escapism. You sink into a permanent loop of addiction, self-blame, and worsening spiritual void with endless relapses. This biochemical mechanism explains why years of self-discipline efforts fail to break your internal friction cycle. Learning this harsh link between loneliness and addiction may leave you feeling hopeless. If you are naturally introverted, prone to solitude, and lack deep emotional connection, are you permanently trapped in addictive self-sabotage with no cure? The answer is absolutely no. Loneliness is an unavoidable normal human emotion that cannot be fully eliminated. But loneliness-induced dopamine imbalance and broken reward systems can be fully reset and repaired through scientific, gentle methods. We share a complete, practical 30-day dopamine reset protocol derived from the authoritative psychology book, Dopamine Nation, validated by countless self-improvement practitioners and addiction sufferers. This systematic method requires no brutal cold turkey or massive willpower expenditure to fight your innate brain chemistry. It targets loneliness-triggered dopamine dysfunction at the source, repairing damaged reward pathways and permanently breaking your addictive internal friction cycle. See Step 1. Data audit. Face your true self. Abandon self-deception. Most self-discipline collapse, and quit attempts fail due to self-delusion and wishful thinking. We downplay our addictive habits as occasional slip-ups, believing we can stop anytime. We chant empty motivational slogans and make hollow vows, yet refuse to confront our messy reality. Starting today, discard all comforting excuses and blind optimism. Pull up your phone screen time reports and app usage logs. Meticulously record every addictive behavior's exact timing, scenarios, triggering emotions, and root incentives. Clearly distinguish whether your binges stem from midnight loneliness, academic ward stress, boredom-induced emptiness, or reality-escaping emotional suppression. Only by fully identifying your addiction's core trigger can your brain stop avoidance and begin healing. See Step 2. Environmental isolation. Cut trigger cues. Rely on surroundings instead of willpower. No addictive behavior occurs spontaneously. All have fixed environmental triggers and ingrained routines. Scrolling in bed, watching videos pre-sleep, opening entertainment apps during boredom, chasing distraction under stress. Remember this core rule: never trust your willpower. It is limited, fragile, and prone to collapse. Your environment stable, objective, and reliable. A well-adjusted setting erases temptation effortlessly to sustain discipline without struggle. Move your phone out of arm's reach before bedtime to eliminate midnight scrolling entirely. Uninstall addictive short video and live stream platforms to raise the barrier for indulgence. When giving in to bad habits becomes inconvenient and self-discipline feels simple, you naturally return to healthy routines. When boredom strikes, avoid lying idle to prevent negative thoughts from spreading. Environmental temptation isolation is the lowest effort, highest effect method to curb addiction with minimal relapse risk. Say Step 3. Core healing. Fill spiritual deprivation. Replace low-grade escapism with sustained positive fulfillment. This is the most vital stage to rewrite your lifelong cycle of self-sabotage and internal friction. Quitting addiction never means brutally stripping away your cravings. It relies on positive substitution and life reconstruction. Suppressing natural instincts alone cannot deliver permanent recovery. Only replacing fleeting, shallow digital gratification with profound, soul-nourishing, long-term satisfaction can fully eliminate low-level addictive habits. You crave short videos and midnight scrolling, not because you value meaningless content, but because your daily life lacks variety and your spirit suffers chronic barrenness, leaving no steady positive dopamine sources to rely on. When loneliness, depression, or stress overwhelms you, avoid letting your brain idle and sink into self-friction. Fill empty hours with low-cost, deeply healing activities that deliver lasting satisfaction. Outdoor walks amid wind and greenery, quiet reading, gentle stretching, meditative relaxation, and focused self-improvement. Gradually rediscover small joys and quiet moments of fulfillment hidden within ordinary daily life. Complete the full 30-day dopamine reset cycle to fully correct the skewed dopamine system distorted by long-term loneliness and restore its original sensory balance. Pause and ask yourself sincerely, what addictive cycle has plagued you with constant relapses? Is it uncontrollable midnight phone scrolling and short video binges, stress-driven emotional overeating that numbs your anxiety, or habitual reality escape through mindless entertainment, muddling through days and refusing to face real life? No shame or harsh self-blame is needed. This repeating loop never reflects flawed character, undisciplined nature, or personal worthlessness. It only means your brain activates instinctive pain relief and self-protection mechanisms to prevent total mental breakdown amid chronic loneliness and severe spiritual deprivation. brave acknowledgement of your struggles, gentle acceptance of your imperfections, gradual habit adjustment, and slow, patient healing of inner loneliness are your paths forward. To everyone trapped in daily addictive cycles, mental friction, and crippling self-denial, most people spend their entire lives clashing against natural human instincts. Every small relapse or moment of relaxation triggers brutal self-criticism, equating minor indulgence with complete failure and weakness. Within this endless loop of self-conflict and self-hatred, you drain all passion, self-confidence, and love for life, gradually growing numb, passive, and lost. Yet almost no one teaches us this gentle, transformative truth as we grow up. Addiction's true opposite is not extreme forced self-discipline. It is warm emotional connection, stable inner fulfillment, and meaningful life engagement. It refers to sincere companionship, substantial daily routines, a rich, peaceful inner world, and a healthy spiritual state of emotional deprivation, hidden loneliness, and inner void. Those addictive habits you struggle to abandon for years, fueling endless mental friction and self-loathing, are never personal failures, moral defects, or original sin. They are quiet self-redemption born from long-term inner loneliness, necessary mental self-protection amid repetitive, emotionally repressed lives. As you slowly heal hidden loneliness, fill spiritual emptiness with meaningful pursuits, enrich monotonous days with positive routines, and calm anxious impulses through steady self-growth, deliberate restraint and painful willpower battles become unnecessary. Your skewed dopamine levels normalize naturally, chaotic inner cravings grow peaceful and controllable, and your mental and living state improves gently over time. You will no longer depend on shallow, fleeting digital pleasure to fill the desolate void deep inside your heart. All recovery from addictive habits, relief from long-term mental friction, and steady growth in self-control boil down to complete, gentle spiritual self-healing. If you have lingered in this exhausting self-destructive loop for years, quitting repeatedly only to relapse, worn thin by hidden loneliness and endless self-doubt, understand this simple yet powerful truth. You are not destined to stay trapped in this vicious cycle forever. You do not need to spend your whole life fighting your own brain or punishing your mind harshly for a survival response your subconscious developed to endure long-term emotional pain, emptiness, and unmet spiritual needs. True, permanent recovery from addiction always begins with healing that quiet, persistent loneliness buried deep within you and fully resetting the fractured dopamine cycle, silently governing your mood, emotion, thought patterns, behavioral habits, and overall life state. Once you grasp how your brain chemistry, dopamine reward pathways, and psychological mechanisms truly operate, you stop waging brutal war against yourself and begin steady, peaceful, harmonious growth alongside your own mind. Small, consistent daily positive shifts gradually restore your long imbalanced dopamine to perfect equilibrium. Fill lasting inner emptiness with positive energy and meaningful life progress, and permanently break free from meaningless digital escapism and self-sabotage. You will embrace a relaxed, positive, disciplined, fulfilled, and authentic life that truly belongs to you.